In what are the first recorded homicides since the start of the new year, 2 young men were shot and killed in central Bastille on the 11th January 2021. Dead are 20-year-old Lamont Heiliger of McKnight and 19-year-old Jaquan Merritt of Fort Thomas Road. According to the police, Heiliger was pronounced dead at the scene by the district medical officer. Indications are that he was shot multiple times about the body. Merritt sustained a serious gunshot wound to the head and later died at the JNF General Hospital, where he was taken by the emergency medical services. Police responded to the report of the shooting and cordoned off an area in Lower Thibault Avenue in central Bastille just after 7 p.m. According to the police media release, their preliminary investigations revealed that Heiliger, Merritt, and other persons were in a shed when an individual shot both men. Police are appealing to residents with information relating to the shooting to contact the Violent Crime Unit at 467-1887, 467-1888, or 662-3468. Persons also may choose to go to the nearest police station or use the 707 crime hotline and provide information anonymously. Glenn Barth, Skn Newsline.
A GoFundMe account has been set up for the Ross University student who was attacked by a shark while swimming on the weekend. At the time of this report, the account has so far raised over $28,000 towards medical expenses for the student, identified as Brooke in the description on the GoFundMe page. The description gave further details on the tragic incident on Saturday. It said Brooke was attacked by a tiger shark while on her exercise swim with her Saturday swim group. She sustained injuries to her left leg where it attacked, as well as her right hand that she used to fight it off, punching it in the nose and trying to gouge out its eyes. The description added that after an amazing rescue by the kayakers and swimmers of the group, the Coast Guard took her to the hospital for emergency surgery. She has since been transported to Houston, where she is being closely monitored. The recovery process will be tough and lengthy, so we appreciate any donations as expenses are likely to be significant, the description added. It further stated that she was about to begin her final semester of didactic learning at Ross University, but said those plans have now changed due to the shark attack. Ross University media reports confirmed that some 7 students were out kayaking when the incident occurred. Only Brooke was reported to have sustained injuries. The incident is being investigated. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
Several media personalities discussed key issues of 2020 in an Skn Newsline special called 2020 in Retrospect, posted early in January. Alicia Daniel Blake from Sugar City FM, Jermaine Abel of Skn Vibes, and Glenn Barth from Skn Newsline joined host Andrea Huey on 2020 in Retrospect to examine challenges and achievements that impacted the lives of citizens and residents during the year. As expected, the COVID-19 pandemic dominated the program, as well as general elections held in St. Kitts and Nevis and other countries of the Caribbean community.
Some of those persons who would have become unemployed, for example, those in the tourism industry, would have had to find creative ways to make a living, because even though there would have been the stimulus package in terms of government and in terms of Social Security, in the meantime, persons would have had to make a living. And so we found a lot of creativity in terms of new businesses.
Even though the vaccine is here, we still don't have a single way in which we're dealing with the virus. And that problem is being reflected in the way the cases are popping up in the individual territories.
There's one other thing that we should mention that really impacted 2020 in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that was the issue. That, of course, we know was losing money for many years, and I think COVID-19 was just the tipping scale that threw it to the dustbin. But it also brought into focus with all the arguments that were going back and forth between Barbados and Antigua and one of the other shareholders, how important it is to have a regional air carrier to serve as impetus for this, what we perceive to be an integration movement that is so important to us.
Really liked the way technology seemed to come to the forefront once again in terms of campaigning. To me, in a sense, that reduced some of the nastiness that is known in
Yep, that's for
Caribbean
sure.
politics in general, because they more had to follow a format abiding by the COVID-19 protocols. It mostly took place online. And then when there were motorcades, it would be, they're in their own vehicles, etc. So less of the nastiness of the politics that we normally see took place.
We need to have addressed this issue of how long petitions take to be resolved. I think we need to look at the system. We need to revamp it so that if there's any challenge, it can be quickly addressed, be resolved, and we don't have this weeks and months of wrangling in courts and that kind of thing. And in addition to that, we still have the situation where counting of ballots on the election night is taking way too long. For a small island like St. Kitts and Nevis, I can't see why the results of a constituency will take almost half a day to be completed.
While I agree that we can do electronic voting, there are countries that are right here in the region, bigger than us, bigger population, bigger voting population, that don't have electronic voting. And by 10 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, when they're electioned, by then, who wins the election? Even if it's an exit poll, by that time, okay, all right, you may not have finished counting, but you have an idea of which of the parties would have won the elections. And they don't have electronic voting. So I think that we just need to make the necessary adjustments. I remember speaking to the supervisor of elections, and he did point out that there are certain things that would probably need to be adjusted legally to make it possible for the count to go a lot faster.
The full discussion can be viewed online on YouTube, Facebook, and on sknnewsline.com. Glenn Batt, Skn Newsline.
The Emergence and Affirmation Summit, a motivational summit that will inspire you to greatness, presented by Vikish Pickering of V Creation, Sunday, January 31st at 3 p.m. at the Kuna Caribbean Conference Center. All attendees will receive affirmations and exercises for the next month that ends with a follow-up. Tickets $100. Dress code fierce and fabulous. For more information, call 765-6798 or visit www.vcreation-inspire.com. It's the Emergence and Affirmation Summit, January 31st at 3 p.m. at the Kuna Caribbean Conference Center. Come and unleash with Vikish.
I feel good.
Come to Vibes Beach Bar and Grill at the Frigate Bay Strip, your place for the best selection of local dishes. Join us for lunch. Mahi-mahi, barbecue ribs, fresh caught snapper, salmon, lobster, and our world-famous Vibes wings at economically sound prices. Dinner is served from the deck or the golden sands of the Frigate Bay Beach. Join us for birthdays, business meetings, or just for fun in a family-friendly environment. Open daily from 11 a.m. Vibes Beach Bar and Grill. Great food, hospitality, entertainment, and good vibes. Call 465-8423 for reservations and inquiries.
I feel good.
Skillex Interactive Voice Response System, a new 24-hour automated call-in service. Access it now at 465-2000 to report faults, receive bill balances, and for the first time ever, you can now make bill payments over the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Access it now by calling 465-2000.
Taste the flavor of succulent barbecue chicken, pork, and ribs. It's Nightlife BBQ and Grill across the road from Caribbean Cinema in Buckley's. You're sure to taste the best food you ever had. Try their roast breadfruit hot off the grill or swing by during lunchtime for their lunch menu. Oxtail, mutton, stew pork, stew chicken, and more. The nightly session cuisine is the best. Open every day for breakfast and lunch. So when you're hungry and you need somewhere to get some great food, your choice has got to be Nightlife, located across the road from Caribbean Cinemas. Call 664-7439, 667-1596, or 664-5103. Nightlife BBQ and Grill.
a statement on Monday, Venezuela rejected statements made by President Irfan Ali on the ICJ's ruling that it has jurisdiction to determine the validity of the 1899 arbitral award. In the statement shared by Venezuelan Foreign Minister Jorge Arrezia, the government claimed that Guyana was being led astray by ExxonMobil to meddle in the internal affairs of Venezuela. The exchange comes after President Ali rejected a decree made by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on January 7, 2021, claiming exclusive sovereign rights in the waters and seabed adjacent to Guyana's coast west of the Essequibo River. That area is part of the Stabroek Block being drilled by U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil.
This attempt by Venezuela to attempt to unilaterally fix both its land and maritime boundaries with Guyana is a legal nullity, which cannot and will not be respected by any other state in the world, including Guyana. The second violation of fundamental international law is based on the fact that well-established rules of international law, there is a fundamental principle that the land dominates the sea. This means that sovereignty and sovereign rights in the sea and seabed emanate from title to the land that forms the coast to which those seas and seabed are adjacent. Since Guyana is sovereign over the coast west of the Essequibo River, as far as Punta Playa, it follows consequently, that only Guyana can enjoy sovereignty and exclusive sovereign rights over the adjacent sea and seabed. This is precisely the issue that is before the ICJ, and which, on the 18th of December 2020, the ICJ decided to resolve whether Guyana or Venezuela is sovereign over the land territory. Guyana is confident that the court will resolve the issue in its favor, and that this will necessarily also settle the issue of maritime rights in the adjacent sea and seabed.
Opposition leader Joseph Harman also responded to the Venezuelan leader's decree, calling it mischievous and illegal, and said that the APNU-AFC coalition stands resolute and in solidarity with any reasonable action that the people of Guyana are likely to embark on to safeguard Guyana's sovereignty.
That decree seeks to renew fallacious claims to Guyana's territory and ignore the internationally demarcated and recognized boundaries between our two states. This decree is illegal and can only serve to foment tension on an issue that is being peaceably resolved in the International Court of Justice. Today, 5 years later, Venezuela seeks to repeat the same misadventure. We urge Venezuela to utilize the International Court of Justice as the forum to present its case and to cease and desist from issuing these arbitrary decrees. The APNU-AFC stands resolute and in solidarity with any reasonable action that the government and people of Guyana is likely to embark on to safeguard Guyana's sovereignty.
The University of the West Indies Five Islands campus opened its doors in September of 2019 to 148 students. The student population has since risen to over 300. On Sunday, the campus held its first graduation.
It is from educators and education that all other professions come. It is on the back of teachers that this country has been built.
The 6 graduates who attain postgraduate diplomas in education are all teachers, all employed in the public service, and are all women. Valedictorian Lorna Richards says the graduates began their journeys at the Antigua State College Teacher Training Department before transitioning to the Fourth Landed campus. The end goal, she says, is to make a difference.
We won't be able to educate everyone, and some of our wins may not even be academic. I teach PE, and my greatest win last year was getting a well-formatted and typed email from a student.
Beaming with pride at the momentous occasion was Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Gaston Brown.
We have no regrets over the investment we made in the Five Islands campus. It was an investment in the upliftment of our people and of our nation. There can be no cause more noble, no pursuit more fulfilling, no accomplishment more joyous.
Also in the history books and the UE alum in her own right, Marshall Leigh Jarvis says her children have been with her every step of the way.
When I was doing K-ville, my undergrad, they were very small kids. They were part of it because they used to stay up with me late in the nights and stuff like that, and they would sleep on the floor while I'm studying up. They are super proud. It's like my degree is their degree, my success is their success. After all, I'm a mother. I do it for them.
Last year, Leigh Jarvis navigated uncharted waters as both a mathematics teacher and a student.
When the pandemic hit, it came at a time where we were close to doing our practicum. There were times when I used to email my students or call one of them and say, listen, we have a group. Y'all have to be in my Zoom class because I have, the officials coming in and be on your best behavior, even though it's Zoom.
The graduates are encouraging other teachers to take the opportunities being made available to them to seek further development.
If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you.
Rakib Aparisi reporting for ABS News.
Just days after President Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol to stop the electoral vote count certifying President-elect Joe Biden's win. House Democrats, seen here evacuating the House chamber during the January 6th attack, are now acting to remove President Donald Trump.
To declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office.
Their first step? A resolution calling on Vice President Mike Pence and a majority of Trump's cabinet members to invoke the 25th Amendment in the next 24 hours, declaring the president unfit for office.
If the Vice President and the cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment.
Despite rioters' calls for his hanging for refusing to overturn the election results, Pence is not expected to take that step. A vote on impeachment instead could come as early as midweek.
We need angry patriots to fill the House.
Charging Trump with incitement of insurrection for his statements on his now suspended Twitter account and for remarks to supporters immediately before the January 6th Capitol riot.
And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
With a little over a week before Biden's inauguration, Democrats say they can act fast.
This was all out in the open. This was open incitement of people to stop Congress from accepting the certified electoral college results.
That would make Trump the first president in U.S. history to be impeached twice.
A sitting president inciting an insurrection against the United States government is perhaps the worst thing that a president could ever possibly do. And that statement needs to be made. Second, and more pragmatically, if he were impeached and convicted, that would prevent him from running for office in the future.
There is some Republican support for congressional action holding Trump accountable for his actions.
I think the best thing for the country to heal would be for him to resign. The next best thing is the 25th Amendment.
But Democrats already have the votes for impeachment. They will likely wait to send the article over to the U.S. Senate until later this year. An impeachment trial would stop all other Senate business, hampering Biden's first 100 days in office with a new Democratic majority in both chambers. Catherine Gibson, VOA News, Washington.
Health workers in Mexico say they're at a breaking point. The still worsening health crisis has taken an especially high toll on medical professionals. According to the government's own data, almost 2,500 people employed in the nation's health sector have died since the start of the outbreak. Doctors and nurses from the National Public Health Service recently published an emotional plea on social media, saying that many of them have reached the point of physical and emotional exhaustion.
Por favor. We're begging you, do not expose yourself to contagion. Don't become a transmitter of the disease.
Mexico remains one of the countries hardest hit by the pandemic. The nation's economy is hurting as well. On Monday, restaurant workers protested against containment measures, which have led many businesses to close their doors.
Somos trabajadores a los que nos están condenando. We are workers that are being condemned to unemployment. We're small business owners that are being driven to bankruptcy. And we're not the only ones. Behind every plate of food is a long production line.
Since the start of the outbreak in Mexico, much of the debate over how to strike a balance between curbing transmission of coronavirus and preserving the health of the economy has taken the form of protests like this one outside Mexico's National Palace. In an effort to curb contagion, government officials have reinstated partial lockdown measures in Mexico City. At the same time, however, daily deaths and new coronavirus cases have both soared to record highs, pushing many medical facilities to the limit.
Patients have to wait for 4 or 5 hours. There are no beds, there are no ventilators, there is no oxygen. Queues are very long. Sometimes we have to wait and fight over beds. The situation is out of control.
Though a national vaccination program is slowly being rolled out, health experts have stepped up efforts to warn the population of the ongoing risks of the virus. Adding another layer of worry has been the announcement that the first case of a mutated strain of COVID-19, first spotted last year in the United Kingdom, was recently detected in the Mexican state of Tamaulipas. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Stay abreast with news on St. Martin with SMN News. Visit www.smn-news.com for up-to-date news, scoops, opinions, and hard-hitting facts. SMN News, we tell it like it is. Visit our website www.smn-news.com.
It's the new and improved Skn Newsline Android mobile app. With the Skn Newsline app, you can watch your news reports, the Skn Newsline Newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search Skn Newsline, and download the app today. The Skn Newsline mobile app. News on the go. For the finest in pastries and baked products, your only choice has to be Bryden's Bakery, located on Main Street, New Road, St. Peters. They offer the best in breads, cakes, cheesecakes, cupcakes, cookies, and much more. Visit their cafe and savor breakfast sandwiches, coffee, espresso, and ice cream. Bryden's Bakery also specializes in a variety of healthy breads, cakes, cookies, pies, and pastries for all your special events. Call 667-1505. Opening hours 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays for Ice Cream Sundays. Extended opening hours during the Christmas season. Bryden's Bakery, simply the best.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas print, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our number one priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multigraphics.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.